You know how it is. You go to a family event and someone asks, what's the fun in watching someone else play games anyway? Let's discuss. Over the years, games and the culture that has sprouted around it has grown to a vibrant and all-inclusive community that people from all ages and all walks of life get involved with. But this evolution has seemed to create a divide between gamers and those that take part in it, to those who see it as a mere pointless pastime that only geeks partake in. But if we dig deeper, there's more to it than meets the eye. For more insight into the world of gaming, we reached out to a gamer who takes part in live streams for their point of view.
So my name's Avril. I'm also known as AVSTERS online, and I am a Twitch streamer. And basically what that means is I record myself through a webcam playing games, and I pretty much broadcast that out or live stream it to the internet where people can watch me.
Hi everybody! It's dancing! Sorry.
We asked her for her thoughts on why people watch live streams.
Okay, I think there's a few reasons. So the first is the skill, like you're watching people who are better than you and you can learn from them. The second one is the entertainment wise, where it's funny or engaging or entertaining to watch someone that is streaming online, whether doing commentary of the game as well as interacting with the chat itself. And then the third reason would probably be the community or social aspect of it, where you're kind of engaging with a lot of people through a live stream, as well as like, there's a whole element of I play the game that I really love or I'm really passionate about, and then I can watch other people play and see their different type of reactions to it. And that's actually really fun to watch.
Holy crap! Chuck, did you see that? Chuck, did you see that?
Over the last few decades, gaming has gone from a solitary experience, or at best, an experience shared by friends and family in the same room, to a worldwide social experience where some gamers can get paid as much as celebrities.
I think the gaming landscape has become a lot more interactive. In a sense, you had initially a lot of single story games, and then that became like co-op, and then that became multiplayer, and now you have more engaging elements when you play games. So we went from playing multiplayer games where you can interact with people. Now we have live streaming services where you could be interacting within the game, but also with the play itself. So things like through Twitch or YouTube or Discord now or Mixer or whatever there is. And I don't know, in my opinion, it's just become more and more interactive the way games work.
We can't talk about gaming culture without discussing esports. It's an industry that grows in popularity every year. Just like regular sports, like soccer or football, esports is performed by the best of the best in a certain game, which is played on a world stage. This is the new age sports game, and they have fans and followers in the same way a soccer team or a football team does.
Yeah, my thing is, I don't like it when people downplay esports, because people talk down to it because they don't understand it. I think it's just as respectable as traditional sports players, because there is the huge skill element to it and practice element and dedication to it that a lot of people don't really recognize or acknowledge. Like with whole sports things, is you're watching someone better than you play, and it's like you admire them in a sense. And it's the same with esports. Is like the people that play in esports are really, really, really good at what they do. In traditional sports, you'll have those people that train up for hours upon hours, just so they're at their peak fitness so they can compete to the best. It's the same with esports. Is a lot of people, especially in Dota 2, they'll train for hours upon sometimes more than 8 to 10 hours a day, just playing the game, getting better at it, becoming better strategies with their team. And you have to be like the top 1% out of everyone. And there could be 15 million people playing the same game, but you have to be the best in order to actually get recognized for that. In a sense, if I get really good at rugby, I can get invited to a team and, go on the world stage and play for, whatever country. It's the same with esports. Like, if you get really, really good, you can make it on a team and play worldwide on the international stage, but you have to still be incredibly amazing to actually be able to do that in the first place and be able to get recognized and be in the top percent. And yeah, I think with esports, it's a lot more complex compared to traditional sport. And I think the audience that you have and your competition is a lot more broader, whereas like, for example, there'll only be a certain amount of people playing, football or rugby or tennis, whereas with esports, there'll be a ridiculous amount of people over the world that play that you have to compete with to get recognized with in the first place. For example, for myself, I do love sport. Like, I'm a huge soccer fan, but at the same time, like, when I have like the internationals on for Dota or, for example, for Overwatch, when they're playing, like, they have like their league and they'll have like their international leagues where like each country will have their own team and they'll play like, over the course of like a couple of days, and they'll do that like a grand final kind of thing, like they would do for like FIFA, for example. And for example, like, I would switch that on my TV and watch it while I'm in my kitchen cooking, for example. So like, that's how I see it. Like, people watch sport on the TV and do stuff. I watch like, esports on the TV while I do my stuff.
So whether you dress up in your favourite sports team's colours and watch your favourite football or soccer team play, it all comes down to the same part of the human psyche that esports does. And if we go back to talking about live streaming, you can't talk about live streaming without discussing the community element. You see, it isn't simply a solitary experience. With live streaming, there's the ability to communicate with others also watching that stream, but also those running the live stream and playing the game as well.
You become a part of a community, whether that be like a streamer community, or you have your own community, or I'm a part of so many other communities of Twitch streamers that I really like. And like, you kind of feel a part of their lives in a sense that, like, if you watch them, like, essentially you're watching with them, you're interacting with them, you're talking to them, like, you feel like you know them in the end, and you become close to them, and you make lots of friends. Like, I've made so many good friends this year and last year when I started streaming, that I hang out with every day, like probably sometimes more than I would actually hang out with my own friends in real life, because it's easy. Like, you don't have to organize a time or place and see if everyone's available, and if it's expensive to go out. Like, you literally just are at home and you can chat to people online.
But what is it like running a live stream?
I think the more and more I get into it, I think it's not what attract people to hold live stream. I think it's the aspect of I think some people want to get really big and that's why they do it. And then some people, it's the money, like you can make a living off it. And I think another huge aspect of it is the community aspect, where you can have like a community and grow it. It feels like you're in a huge community. Like, I'd probably say like 95% of Twitch streamers support each other. So like, it's not like a competition where we live stream. It's more like we're helping each other out, which is really nice in a sense. One of the big reasons why a lot of people continue to begin Twitch streaming or continue on with it is because there's a hopes that one day this could be like your full-time job, or you can earn a lot of money on the side from it. Like, if you can't get into esports and practice all the time, there's always YouTube or Twitch where you can make a full-time living wage doing that. And essentially that, the attraction is you're doing something more that you love, especially if you love video games. It's really fun, getting to play games and the possibility of maybe getting paid for it in the end.
To the outside world, some people can look at it as geeks and nerds simply watching other geeks and nerds play games. But there is a large and diverse game culture that has emerged, which allows people to feel accepted and included.
Game culture is misunderstood, and therefore, because people don't understand it, they have such a negative thought towards it. I don't know, people just have this huge misunderstanding of what it is to game and the gaming culture, but I think it's so cool to be a part of it at the same time that I'm in it. I went to a bar the other day and a lot of people were like-minded like me, and it felt so good to be accepted in that way. When I go out to, if I go out to a club, people just look at me weirdly, like, oh, I'm a gamer, and they'll be like, oh. Whereas if you go to a place where it's, it's like a community in itself.
So to recap, esports and live streaming has created a large community for those like-minded individuals to make friends, discuss common interests, and to feel like they belong, a place where they can fit in. The games played allows people to experience the game, even before they've bought it themselves. It allows people to gauge whether they want to buy that game or not. And for those that already own the game, it allows assistance in how to complete certain stages in that game, or some insight into how other people combat certain problems within the game. It allows people to follow a certain person or a certain team, watch people much better than themselves, and it gives people a role model to look up to, or something for them to aspire to. And with the ease of access to the internet, for many people it's free. You don't have to spend a lot of money or even own the best and latest hardware available in order to experience the game.
Who you are as a person attracts the same audience. Like, I know other people are really like, you have to be positive and positive vibes and this and that. This is me making fun. I'm not making fun of them, but you know, some streamers are like that, and then they'll attract that type of audience. Whereas me myself is like, I would just say things bluntly. Like, I make lame jokes. I get scared easily. I make fun of people. People make fun of me. You know, and that's the kind of community I've got going on for me, and that's the kind of people I attract. But yeah, like I said, and because of that, brought up my confidence. You know, I'm more confident who I am as a person.
But all in all, the best part for me is the positive, inclusive and supportive culture that has developed, where it doesn't matter how you look or dress, it doesn't matter how many friends you have. Anyone, anywhere can find their safe space where they feel they belong and feel included. Because the ultimate goal in this world is a world where everyone counts, and where walls in society are broken down, where we're all part of the same thing. One big giant community we call the human race. Thanks for watching the video. I hope you liked it. If you did, please do me a solid. Like, subscribe and ring that bell. Or just watch some of these videos here.